Picture this. There's this island somewhere in the ocean, and everything runs on bananas. You want new shoes? 5 bananas. Need your house painted? 30 bananas. Toothache? 15 bananas to see the dentist. The whole place operates on this fruity currency, and for the longest time, everyone's totally cool with it. You've got farmers growing bananas, shops accepting them as payment, workers getting paid in bananas every week. The government collects banana taxes and uses them to pay for roads and schools. It's like any normal economy, except instead of paper money, everyone's carrying around bunches of bananas. Weird? Maybe. But it works because everyone on the island agrees that bananas have value. The key thing here is trust. You're a carpenter. Someone asks you to build a table. You spend 3 days making it beautiful. They hand you 20 bananas. You accept those bananas because you trust that tomorrow the market vendor will accept them from you. The whole system is basically one giant chain of trust. Break that chain and, well, that's when things get messy. Too many bananas. Too many problems. One year, the weather is perfect and banana trees go absolutely crazy. Farmers also figured out better growing techniques, so now they're pumping out bananas like there's no tomorrow. Sounds great, right? More bananas means everyone's richer, yeah? Nope. When there's suddenly way more money floating around, each piece becomes less special. The shoemaker looks at all these bananas everywhere and thinks, bananas aren't rare anymore. I want 8 bananas now instead of 5. Next month, 10, then 12. This is inflation happening right before our eyes, except with fruit. The farmers are scratching their heads. They're producing more than ever, but somehow can't afford the same stuff. Anyone who saved bananas is watching their life savings turn into basically nothing. That grandmother who stored 200 bananas for emergencies, she can barely buy a week's worth of food now. People start panicking. If your bananas will be worth less tomorrow, you rush out and spend them as fast as possible. Everyone's frantically trying to trade bananas for actual goods. But this rushing around makes the problem worse because now bananas are changing hands super fast, driving prices up even faster. It's a snowball rolling downhill, getting bigger and more dangerous. The complete breakdown. Once people lose faith in bananas as money, everything unravels. Some folks refuse to accept bananas anymore and start bartering. Fish for coconuts, coconuts for tools. But this creates chaos because finding someone who has what you want and wants what you have is ridiculously difficult. This is exactly why money was invented, and when money stops working, we're back to this nightmare. Businesses start closing everywhere. The bakery that's been around for 30 years, gone. The toy shop, shuttered. Why? Because businesses can't operate when they don't know what their money will be worth next week. They can't order supplies or pay workers, so they close their doors, putting even more people out of work. The government tries to fix things, but they're catching a runaway train with bare hands. Remove too many bananas from circulation too slowly, it doesn't help. Too fast, and nobody has enough to buy anything. Meanwhile, crime rates shoot up, and neighbors who used to help each other are now competing over scraps. The whole island is tearing apart. Real people, real pain. Let's talk about what this means for actual families. Roberto, a taxi driver, used to support his wife and kids comfortably. Now fuel prices are through the roof. His car needs repairs he can't afford, and nobody's taking taxis because everyone's broke. He's watching his kids go hungry. Old man Chen worked his whole life and saved carefully for retirement. His lifetime of savings can't even buy a month's worth of food now. He's too old to work again, dependent on his daughter's family who are barely scraping by themselves. The security he spent 40 years building just disappeared in months. Little Maria is 7 years old. She doesn't understand economics, but she hears her parents arguing about money every night. Her school closed down. Her friends are moving away. She's learning that the world is unstable and scary, and this lesson will shape her thinking forever. Economic collapse doesn't just hurt people now, it damages entire generations. What we learn from bananas. So what's the point of this banana story? It shows us that money only works because we collectively agree it has value. Bananas, paper bills, digital numbers, it's all the same. The moment that trust breaks down, everything falls apart faster than you'd imagine. Our banana economy also shows us why balance matters. Too many bananas caused inflation. Too few would freeze up the economy completely. Central banks are constantly trying to find that sweet spot, and it's way harder than it looks. Everything affects everything else. When farmers produced too many bananas, it hurts savers. When businesses closed, it hurt workers. When workers had no money, it hurt businesses. In our modern world, when Greece had problems, it affected Germany. When the US housing market crashed in 2008, it hurt countries worldwide. We're all connected in ways that aren't obvious until something breaks. And here's the most important lesson. Preventing an economic collapse is way easier than fixing one after it happens. Once that ball starts rolling downhill, stopping it is incredibly difficult. This is why economists watch for warning signs constantly, trying to catch problems before they become catastrophes. Next time you hear about inflation or currency crisis on the news, you'll actually understand what's happening behind the jargon. You'll know why it matters and who it hurts. Pretty heavy stuff for a conversation about fruit, but that's exactly why we needed to have it.